Yes, people. Man, that was a long intro today. Sorry, man. I had to jump on a call. Welcome. Welcome to Waffletv, another edition. I'm your man with the most, the MC with the host, or the MC with the most. I don't know, but I'm not boasting. I'm not toasting, as they would say. Make sure you smash up the lights when you enter the building. And yeah, man, happy Friday to all. Possibly a lot of people working right now. Maybe some people are leaving, getting ready to come home, be finishing early. But yeah, hope your Friday's good. London, the weather looks really overcast and grey. It's temperature's dipped a little bit, so it's a little bit cold. But it is what it is. And forgive me for the long ass intro. One of my boys called me up and I just had to take the call because it was quite important. Anyway, today's subject is Mr. Aubameyang. Now, Mr. Aubameyang has been talking to, who's he been talking to? A French, or speaking to Colin interview, some media channel, whatever they call them, about his feud with Mikel Arteta. And I just want to talk about it. For me, well, my personal opinion on the whole thing is there was definitely like a personality clash between Aubameyang and Arteta. You know, one being a passive-aggressive character, the other being flamboyant, show-offy, you know, fun-loving, full of life, you know. So you're always going to get that type of clash between a player and a manager like that. I don't think players had any problem with Aubameyang. I don't think none of the players had any problems with Aubameyang. You know, there was reports of times where Aubameyang used to be late, turn up on time. I get that. I can understand that. Disciplinary issues, you know, that's really not professional as a footballer. But everyone just seems to be blaming Aubameyang and not looking at two sides of the coin. You know, there's always two sides to a story, two sides to a picture. It's never one-sided. I can't stand people, yeah, that are just really just like one-sided all the time. Just one-sided. I don't like people like that, man. You know, be a little bit more critical, understand both natures of the issues instead of just like blaming one side and just being, oh, because it's the manager, it was this, it was that. You know what? I get that. But also, we need to look at the player's side in context as well. So there's a little article here which kind of touches on Aubameyang's feelings on what he said in the interview with Colin interview. So I'm going to bring that up, whether it was translated correctly or not, I don't know, but just make sure you guys can see it. So here's the article here. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang opens up on the Mikel Arteta feud and Arsenal exit. Before I do that, though, let me just put the cup in somewhere. I'll be back in a sec. Just have to put the cup somewhere. And let's talk again. So So the title of Aubameyang opened up on the Mikel Arteta feud and Arsenal exit. So in bullet points, we have Aubameyang stripped of the Arsenal captaincy and exiled before 2022. We know that. Striker guilty of a handful of disciplinary breaches early in the Gunners' career, and Mikel Arteta criticised over lack of humanity by the Gabon international. We all know, if you guys can remember, this was the Everton game. And I can remember a time where Arteta was playing Aubameyang on the left, and it just wasn't working for him. I think in previous seasons, because I don't think he had a great season when Arteta decided to put him on the left, but in previous seasons, he scored like 22 goals each season. Previous seasons, I think. So something wasn't working, you know, and Arteta decided to put him on the left. So frustration must have started building up. You know, why am I playing on the left, etc., etc. I saw one comment from someone the other day saying, "Oh well, he used to come in driving in gold cars and wearing silver suits. So what? The guy can dress how he wants to dress. Yeah, what's that got to do with you? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, as long as he comes play and he's ready, you know, and he's not being rude to the manager or rude to any of the players. Because all I've seen is from Aubameyang is that joyful type of player, that joyful guy, you know, character. That's all I've seen from him. But obviously, there may be other sides to his character. You know, he's a family man, you know, married family man, you know. See, you know, loves his mum, his, you know, and his parents very much. So let's get into it now. So it says quite clearly here, Aubameyang has accused Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta of lacking humanity over the feud which led to his departure from the Emirates Stadium in 2022. The only thing I want to know, though, is why has he went to Barcelona, gone to Chelsea, and now he's at Marseille? Why is he only making noise now? Was there some legal loophole or something? Or, you know, because if this has been on his mind for so much time, yeah, these things could eat you up, you know. These things can really cause mental damage to you, you know. And managers also have a responsibility, you know, of providing care for their players, yeah, you know, of, you know, having conversations with players instead of just like taking them off. I don't want to talk to you. That's it. You know, just making them just feel like nothing. Yeah. Remember, yeah, players are also human beings as well. And some managers, yeah, they just get on their high horse and they just think, you know, I'm just going to talk down to whoever I want to, do whatever I want to. I'm not gonna be bashing Mikel Arteta, but I'm just showing two sides of an argument. Let's make the screen a bit better because I'm going to show my cute face. Is that a bit small? Let's see. Yeah, maybe that's a bit better. Let me know if you can't see it. Scroll it a bit more. That looks a bit better. Aubameyang was the team captain when Arteta arrived and spent 2 years in the post. A clash over a late return in training saw him stripped of the armband and banished from the squad. He ultimately joined Barcelona on a free transfer on the final day of the January transfer window. Speaking to Colin Interview, Aubameyang reveals his side of the story, taking some of the responsibility. So he hasn't denied any of the responsibility. So you know what? He probably has had disciplinary problems, has been late, but he says taking some of the responsibility. Key there. That's key. responsibility, yeah, must also question Arteta's response to the situation. So it goes on. It was during the COVID period, and we were playing, I think, Everton. Aubameyang recalled, our season wasn't great. We were struggling in the league. And the day before, the coach told us, look, it doesn't matter if we win, you have a day off. But if you want to leave the country, tell us before the match, because you have to follow the health and safety rules. Okay, so this was during COVID. I'm a bit concerned when my coach is saying, look, it doesn't matter if we win or not. You know, you have a day off. What's he talking about, man? I don't like hearing that. My mother, a few months before, had a stroke. Okay, right. It was going to be Christmas. Happy birthday to my mum, by the way, yeah. 31st of May. Happy birthday to Jez as well. Happy birthday to Sesko as well. I'm going to call him in a bit, show happy birthday and stuff in a moment. I'm coming to, so I went to the coach and I said to him, Coach, I'm coming to see you because I like to leave for the day off. I'm going to go pick up my wife to bring her back for the holidays. He tells me, no problem. He knew very well what happened. The day it happened, he had already given me permission to go see her. So he gives me authorization and tells me to check with the doctor about the return to COVID. Okay. I'm going home to Laval. Normally I would leave off and return in the evening rather than the morning of training. My mother had medical tests to do. I couldn't leave in the evening, so I left the next morning on training day. Once I got there, I had to take my COVID test, but in fact, I should have done it the day before since I was coming from another country. I arrive and the coach finishes his meeting, then he grabs me and he completely tears into me. He shouts at me like crazy. He says, you have a knife in my back. You can't do that to me, given the times we're going through. At that moment, I tell myself that I'm not going to answer him because it's going to end angrily. I didn't go partying. He knows very well the reason for my departure. So at that moment, I don't understand why he's lecturing me like this. Interesting. So right there seems to be a breakdown in communication on both sides. You know, we don't know the facts, do we? But as I said, yeah, this is coming from Aubameyang's side. I know previously when Aubameyang went to Barcelona, before he spoke about this, he was saying that the manager can't handle big players. So, you know, make of that what you will. But yeah, it's pretty telling, you know, that aggressive side that we've seen from Arteta already, for him to come out, and Arteta will probably deny all of this. Arteta will probably deny that he said all this, but who knows? So as we continue, there you go, the FA Cup. The only FA Cup, the only trophy that Arteta has won, by the way. You know, he should thank Aubameyang for that, or he would be going like 5 years without a trophy now. He'd be starving, and he probably wouldn't have kept his job. You know, so he's got Aubameyang to thank for that. You know, was it Aubameyang that scored the penalty that won us the game to win the FA Cup? As we go on, so despite his hope that the situation would blow over, Aubameyang soon realised that Arteta was not prepared to forgive and forget. You see that? Let's go back to this again. I didn't even want this to be a long stream. I don't think it's going to be a long stream, but anyway. Key here. Remember this bit. Aubameyang revealed his side of the story, taking some of the responsibility. That's key, but also questioning Arteta's response to the situation. So he had already asked Arteta if he can go and see his mother. Authorization was given. I'm just summarizing quickly. But the response was like, you've knifed me in the back, from Arteta, you know? And there was an anger about Arteta, which he couldn't understand. So let's continue. The former Arsenal striker continued, I go home and the doctor calls me and says, tomorrow the coach doesn't want you to be there. This is probably meaning at Emirates. I said, okay, I knew the next match was coming and I said to myself, damn, once again, everyone is going to talk about me. It's going to be a mess. That is crazy. I couldn't understand it. The days passed and the doctors told me, look, he doesn't want you to be with the group anymore, but you'll be able to come and train, but separately. So, wow. I say to myself, okay, so he's probably like, I mean, he's probably at this point like thinking, whoa, what's going on? And then afterwards, he calls me and we have a meeting so he can explain to me that firstly, he's taken away the captain's armband, and secondly, I'm no longer training with the group. Once again, he explains why he is against me during this period when it was complicated for the club. What period? Was it the COVID period? Was it because we were playing shit? What was it? Excuse me, I shouldn't say playing crap. What was it? So he says that I have to be an example and that I couldn't do that. At that moment, I said, I admit that I have my share of responsibility, but the real cause, I think you can understand, if you're a little bit human, you can understand my mood. After that, it was over. I stayed for months training on my own while waiting for the move away. So pretty much doesn't really go into that much. But there's clearly something not right there. Let's go and see if like these dumbass newspapers say I hate the Sun, and I hate Daily Mail, Daily Phil, but let's go into the Sun and see what the Sun, how the Sun, what they put. So the knife in the back, that still stands. So the fact that he finishes his meeting and tears into him, I think that's full of shit. Said it again, I shouldn't be saying that. I think that's full of crap. Why is he tearing into him like that? So it's the same. So it's the same thing. So, all right, okay, Aubameyang is now at French giant Marseille revealed he would never play with Arsenal again. It was one of many disciplinary breaches, including multiple accounts of lateness. March 2021, Aubameyang was left on the bench for being late to a team meeting ahead of a derby at Spurs. So this is what I want to get to about the drinking now. Aubameyang has revealed that he turned to drinking during his Arsenal exit. Reflecting on the end of his time at the club, Aubameyang said, I'm sure I was depressed. There are attitudes that are seriously different from your daily life. For example, I started drinking a lot. It was a difficult passage. It started a little before I was fired from Arsenal. So yes, it was depression. I think that personally it's related to the state of health of my parents. It affects a man. It was difficult. How to get out? Often we say that we have to talk about it. There's no shame in that. Fellow director Richard Garlett asks Eddie, what is he supposed to be doing now? And Eddie replies, training. Aubameyang eventually got his move to Barcelona after Arsenal ripped up his contract, allowing him to sign on a free transfer. But he revealed he suffered from mental issues and turned to alcohol after the exit. So yeah, that's pretty sad, really. And as I said earlier, two sides to the discussion. Aubameyang did say that he shares a responsibility, so maybe being late too often, you know, caused the rift. You know, it's almost like you're late and you're being disrespectful to the rest of the team and especially your manager. And that's something that, as a manager, you can't put up with. You know, you're getting paid a lot of money. You know, you're getting paid a lot of money, and as the cap, and you're a captain as well. So, what kind of, you know, leadership are you showing if you're going to keep being late and having disciplinary problems as well? Remember, I used to manage and I was a coach as well, so I understand both sides of the coin. Some managers will talk to you, you know, in the dressing room, oh, listen, I don't like that, what you've done. Some managers are old school and will just lay into you and stuff like that, you know, the passive aggressive type of manager. So it's a bit crazy, to be honest, you know, the situation. But for me, yeah, big up E-Ross, man, in the building, man. E-Ross says Arteta has his favourites. It's true. Juan Carlo, bring his Clark to the carpet and take him every day of the week. Aubameyang must be a Montigu, Arteta's Capulet, knifing in the back. That French, yeah. Against Tottenham as well, yeah. Got to set an example, facts. Yeah, so I see both sides of the coin, to be honest. Yeah. As much as I want Arteta out of the club, and as much as I don't agree with a lot of some of the things he does, do you know what? You have to set boundaries for players. And, you know, I don't agree with Arteta's approach with Aubameyang. I thought that was a bit harsh, considering the sensitive nature, you know, of his parents. You know, mum having a stroke, and I don't care how much money you're getting paid. I don't care how much millions the person's getting paid. Yeah? Any player with parent or close relative, yeah, had a stroke and they're not near them, that's got to be playing on their mind. Unless you're cold-hearted and you don't give a shit about your parents. Yeah? I'm saying that word S-H-I-T, apologies. I get passionate about things like this. I don't like, you know, I don't like the fact that business over family. You know, I don't like that. Yeah, exactly. Family comes first, and obviously Aubameyang was going through a lot of stress. You know what I mean, as well, due to the nature of the situation. You know, and you worry. It's always going to be at the back of your head that you're worried. Yeah, you might be, you know, and that probably showed in his performances as well. You know, and there's no excuses for his disciplinary issues either. You know, you're a big man, Aubameyang. Yeah. You know, what is you like 30 years old, 29, 30 years old? You're a big man, so take responsibility also. So for me, and this is me, I'm going to summarize it up now. I think both parties are to blame. I don't think that, you know, Arteta, as a rookie manager, handled it correctly, or he could have handled the situation in a better way. But I also don't think that Aubameyang, before that, with the disciplinary issues, helped the situation going into that, because now, yeah, miscommunication, yeah, there was definitely a lack of communication in that situation. And when it comes to HR, yeah, in a business, anyone knows that, you know what, if you've had like 7 days off last month, and then next month, yeah, you had another 7 days, yeah, off sick, they're going to be asking questions. You know, you're going to be like having meetings like to explain your absences. You know, so it's just like any workplace. But is a HR person going to shout at you, or your manager going to shout at you disrespectful? Some managers are damn disrespectful, by the way. I'm going to talk to you with disrespect, but that's a lack of training. That's a lack of empathy, you know, that these managers have. Yeah, you know, that harsh, I'm going to be harsh with you tone. No one's saying you have to be nice, but that harsh, like, especially in a situation where you're vulnerable, and as Eros says, your family comes first. You know, for me, I think Aubameyang handled it correctly, where he didn't get into an argument with Arteta. Arteta already made up his mind that he was going to banish him from the first team, you know, train on your own and all that kind of stuff. Doctor called him up already, you know. Why didn't Arteta call him up to say, listen, I'm not happy with the situation. I don't think that you're right for this team anymore, you know. I'm moving on. Why didn't he tell him? Why didn't he tell him? Why has he got the doctor to tell him? Yeah, it's just common courtesy, you know. So I see both sides of the argument, but my stream today was to find out what Aubameyang had to say, because it's been like 3 clubs and he's only just talking now. So you have to think of the mental side, or the mental games, gymnastics that's been going around in his head. Should I talk about it? Should I not talk about it? Should I talk about it? Should I not talk about it? Maybe him talking about it now, you know, is like a, and we know there's going to be people out there, criticism. I've seen people's comments, you know, straight on the player. He done this, he done that, you know. He's show off. He's this, he's that. You know, people. Listen, people have their opinions. I get it. But are you that type of person that can't see 2 sides of an argument, or you just, you know, narrow? No, that's it. I'm only agree with that. He said that. That's right. That's it. You know, I can talk about good things about people. Yeah, but I could also talk about negative things about people. The same applies to myself as well. You know, I know good things about. I've got good things about me, but negative things about me. Yeah, it's called having critical thinking. Yeah, a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people hear something and they're just like, "Oh, let's adopt that. Let's not have, you know, let's just be biased because that is right, you know, and I'm not having none of it." Yeah. Do the research before you start being critical and stuff like that. Yeah, have some evidence. Yeah, but anyway, I might be on some Laguna's stream later tonight. I think it's 9 p.m. tonight, guys. Make sure you lock into that, man, because it's going to be an end of season review. It's going to go off. You know. All line up there, man like Jez, birthday boy Jez is going to be there. Kyle Walsh, he's going to be there. Del Boy, Ghana TV. There's going to be loads of people there. I'm going to jump on at some point as well. So, you know, we're going to talk about the goods and the bads of the season. So make sure you guys look into Southern Gooners channel later on. put on the notification button if you can. Also, smash the likes of this video, re-watch it back. Yeah, let me know your opinion in the comments, good or bad. You know, everyone's got an opinion. You know, Arteta's spoken about why he's not wanted Aubameyang in the side, and Aubameyang spoke about, you know, his experience with Arteta leading to him leaving the team or being literally sacked from Arsenal. I think for me, Aubameyang's probably regretting some of the things he done whilst at Arsenal, because you can tell he loved playing for Arsenal. But sometimes, yeah, everything happens for a reason, and I'm going to leave it on that note. You know, with that sentence, those words, everything happens for a reason. So yeah, people, have a great day, and this wasn't going to be a long stream, and here we go with the outro.